Well, hello. It has been a little bit since I've posted on this channel, but if you're a subscriber or maybe you're new to seeing these videos, thank you so much for stopping by today. I know that it has been a little bit since I posted, so thank you guys so much for being patient. I plan on putting a lot more time and focus into YouTube, and just so you guys know, I'm back and the content's coming. So today, basically, I just want to do a little sit-down, little chat, friend to friend, give you guys a little bit of an update of what's been going on in my life, because a lot has changed over the last year or so. I think it's been about a year since I posted on this channel. So if you have subscribed since then, thank you so much. You've probably been watching old videos, and I really appreciate that, because when I watch those back, I kind of laugh at how corny and awkward I am, but there's probably just more of that coming from me because that's just who I am. So today, just gonna be a sit down. I'm gonna try to make it short and sweet and to the point. I know I can ramble on a little bit, but I'm just gonna update you guys and let you know what has changed. Alright, so first things first, one of the major changes that has happened here in the last few months is I'm now back to teaching group fitness classes. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I've been teaching group fitness classes for 8 years. When I first got started, I was teaching at a little gym in my hometown. I taught Pilates. And then when I went to college, I taught for the university. I had a few courses that I would teach there, like cardio variety and step aerobics. And that was a really fun opportunity to teach students over a 16-week course. And then I would teach at the school gym. And I've taught pretty much every format you can think of, from like cycling, boot camp, like I said, step aerobics, aqua classes, TRX, I don't know if I said that already. I've done hip hop hustle, Pilates, yoga type stuff. So I have a pretty good variety of things that I've taught. But when I did move away from Michigan and we moved to Arizona, I decided to take a little break from teaching group fitness, because I think my views just kind of changed on group fitness, because I was more going into like the personal training field, and I realized that there were some major differences between group fitness and personal training. And when you're in a group fitness setting, I think it's a great place to get started. But I also think there's some major things that get missed out on, like correcting form. And when you're teaching a 30-person class, there's no way that you can correct everyone's form. There's no way that you can push those people that need the extra push, or modify exercises for the people that need modifying. It's impossible to do all that in that setting. So I think I started to kind of get more of a negative connotation about what group fitness was, and wanted to go more towards personal training and lifting and bodybuilding, because that's kind of what was new and exciting to me at that time. So I took a few years off of teaching consistently. I did some boot camp type stuff throughout the years, but now I'm full force back into it. And I'm actually teaching for a studio called F45. I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but it's a group training class that started in Australia, I believe 5 years ago, and now they're kind of popping up everywhere. They kind of got them, the way that I can describe it is it's kind of like Orange Theory meets CrossFit. So you have the Orange Theory aspects in the fact that we use technology. There's a lot of variety in the exercises you're going to be doing, and kind of takes that CrossFit approach to like functional training. All the moves we do in class are very functional, but we don't push the weight super heavy like CrossFit does. It's more of a beginner level where you're going to be able to learn the movements like deadlift, clean, snatch. You're going to be working a lot of athletic movements. You're going to be doing box jumps, pushing sleds, battle ropes. So there's always like a bunch of variety and whatnot. But I think it's a great approach to group fitness, and that's why I decided to get back into it, because it does have more of a personal training approach, and all the exercises are up on the TVs when you're doing the class, so that allows me to be more of a personal trainer in class, going around correcting people's form and then pushing them and modifying the exercises if they need it. So I'm really excited that I found this. My boyfriend David, which you might have seen on the channel, he works there as well, so we work together in the same studio. So I'm really excited to be back in it, guys. Teaching group fitness just seriously lights me up. I've been doing it since I was 17, 18 years old. So it's really like a grounded part of me, and it's something I really love to do. So I just feel like this sense of being coming back to me by teaching classes. So that's one major update. The next thing is here towards the end of 2017, I was having a lot of gut issues and just not really feeling great within myself. Around like July and August, I had my nephew out here visiting, and he was here for 2 months, and we ate a lot of like junk food, and we were like, oh, he's like a teenage boy, okay, like 15 years old. I was like falling into a lot of like bad eating habits, even though we were like exercising and getting a lot of activity. At that point, I think I was straying away from having like any major goals in fitness. So I ended up putting on quite a bit of weight. Not anything major, but I did get up to about 140, and I was just having some really bad gut issues. I wasn't feeling good. My energy levels were really messed up. I was getting pretty bad acne. I was feeling bloated. My eczema, I think it's eczema. It might be psoriasis. I don't have the full diagnosis on it, but I do have bumps and scaliness and itchy scalp that happen. So just skin issues. So a lot of this stuff is happening. I wasn't feeling good in my own body, and I was just looking for an answer. Just being a personal trainer and knowing that diet is super important, I did know that it probably had something to do with what I was eating. I knew that I was lactose intolerant, but I was still eating dairy on occasion. There was times I was eating it quite often, and I know that was really bad, but I kind of had this thing in my head that was like, oh, I'm only sensitive to dairy, I'm not allergic. Like, I can have 2 servings and then I get sick, but on that first serving I don't really get that sick. So I was kind of in denial that I was lactose intolerant, but I definitely am. And I think, you know, just doing some more research into it, a lot of things started popping up about veganism. So if you guys don't know yet, I am now vegan as of January 1st. Throughout just doing the research, veganism just kept popping up, and once I just dug deeper into the subject, I just realized that it could be a really great solution for me. So I started playing with the idea of being more plant-based, and David and I were talking about it, and he was actually really on board with the idea as well. And David is like the researcher, so he just dives into a subject, and he will like, I feel like I won't see him for days. So like, he'll go watch videos and like read stuff, and then he'll come back out of his little hole and be like, oh my god, guess what I just learned. And so it was definitely interesting, learning a lot of stuff about the industry and how dairy and meat affect our bodies and the environment and the animals, and I was just really all about it. So started implementing the lifestyle, and I was going about 80% in, but there were still like those few little things that I would have. And I think at this time it was like the end of November, and I was like, okay, I know that we're gonna go back to Michigan for a few weeks in December, and I know that, you know, we're gonna want to try a lot of like the foods that we've you know, grew up having around the holidays. So I was like, I don't know if I fully want to commit to this, but in my head I was also like, I'm just like pretty dang sure that I want to commit to this, and I think that this is going to be the right choice for me. So just more and more as the time went on, I was like getting more and more fired up about it, and I was like, okay, this is what I gotta do. When we went home to Michigan for the holidays, I was actually really good about eating vegan, and there was a few times that I had things that weren't vegan, and I felt sick and I didn't feel good, and I felt bad, and I was like, this isn't what I like anymore. Like, I literally, like, meat disgusted me, and I didn't crave it anymore. And yeah, I think I had like chicken once in December, and I was like, I'm done with this, I'm ready to move on. So as of January 1st, David and I both committed to being vegan. So no more meat, no more dairy, no more eggs, none of those animal products anymore. So after a few weeks of eating like this, I felt spikes in my energy. I felt my skin just feeling a lot better. I felt my gut issues were probably like the biggest thing that changed for me. I used to feel bloated all the time, and now I hardly ever feel bloated. I mean, there's definitely times that I eat things and I do get irritation in my stomach, but I do feel like I have a really sensitive stomach, so I'm still learning, guys. Like, it's gonna take time to truly figure out what, you know, your body can take and what it can handle and what it likes and what it doesn't like, and everyone's different, and I in no way want to like push my beliefs on people, because this really did start as more of a diet thing for me, but once I started diving deeper into it, the issues of the industries, the meat and dairy industry, really fired me up. I didn't like it. So yes, I support veganism. No, I don't want to push those beliefs on you. If you have different beliefs and you have different opinions, that's totally fine. I'm not going to be one to be like a super big activist, even though these are my beliefs, but I also think that everyone's different, and not everyone can be on a vegan diet, and it's not going to be the healthiest thing for them. And on that note, veganism is a very healthy way to eat, but it can also be unhealthy, because there's plenty of foods that you can eat on a vegan diet that are not healthy, and there's so many alternatives. Like, I can still have burgers, I can still have pizza, I can still have ice cream, I can still have Oreos. So there's a lot of foods that are high in sugar and are still like processed, that are not good for you, and they're still considered vegan. So I really do try to consume mostly plants and plant-based things. I do still have that balance in my diet, but I feel like it was a super easy transition going into veganism, because there is all those foods that you can have. There's substitutes for cheese and ranch and mayonnaise. There's meat supplements. You can get meatless meatballs and chicken nuggets. I feel like there's just so much to cover when it comes to veganism, so I could talk for hours, but maybe next time I'll do more of a Q&A style so that we can really cover some more of the questions that you guys have, and go more into depth next time. So the last thing I want to cover on today's update video is, I've been getting some questions about it, and I just want to kind of clear the air about my sponsorship with Performics. I did decide to end my sponsorship with Performics as of January, when I decided to turn vegan. This is something I was thinking about for quite a few months leading up to it. If you guys don't know who Performics is, they're a supplement company that I was partnered with for a couple of years. They're a very innovative company. They use time-release beads in all of their products. They have some really awesome products. I believe that the majority of the products that Performics has do have dairy in them, so it was something that I had to completely cut out to transition to veganism. And it was a sacrifice because I truly love the company and I love the people behind it, and I had a great relationship with them. And it was really just a big part of my life, being able to, you know, travel with them and go to expos and meeting you guys, and collaborating with them was really awesome. And I was sad about it, but at the end of the day, this means so much to me, to be able to take on this journey of veganism, and I don't regret it. And yes, I had to end that partnership with them. But one other little thing I kind of wanted to address was that, yes, I had to drop them because of the veganism thing, but another thing is that this has nothing to do with them or against them, but I feel like, you know, when you're sponsored by a supplement company, there is a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons, and I think you can imagine a lot of the pros of being sponsored by a supplement company. You get free product, you get to travel, you get to work with a cool company, you get photo shoots, you get compensation for being able to like refer products. That's all great, but also some of the cons of that are, you know, you have requirements for posting, and some of them, you know, they require you to post quite a bit throughout the week. And sometimes it can feel a little bit forced and posy, and I do feel like there was a point where my page, my whole Instagram page, was more just about Performics than it was about me and my journey and helping you guys and connecting with you guys, and I felt like it was more about promoting a product. And as much as I love them, I just felt like that really bothered me, because I felt like I was forcing it a little bit, and I felt like other people felt like I was forcing it a little bit. And, you know, people would come up to me and be like, wow, you're really into this Performics stuff, and I'd be like, yeah, I really am, but there's like more to me, and there's more about me, and I want to get to know you guys, and I want to use that platform to really connect with you guys. And yeah, I think that it was really a great move for me to branch off a little bit. I think nothing against them at all, but I felt like for me, just being able to explore more of like myself and the kind of content that I wanted to post, and then also going into this vegan lifestyle, it really just was the sacrifice that I had to make. But we'll see what's in the future for me. I'm really excited to be back with it here on YouTube. So if you're a new subscriber, thank you guys so much. And if you're not subscribed yet, go down to this little logo here. I believe it's right in that little corner. Click on that logo and you can subscribe there. And more is coming. So thank you guys so much for watching today, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.